What's going on, folks? The Deadlock Podcast kind of is back. We are here for the Fighter Stonks check-in for you guys, presented by PredictionStrike. Shout out to PredictionStrike, as always, for pretty much hosting this this segment that we got here. Make sure you guys check out PredictionStrike. Use the promo code LOCK, and they'll give you a free Fighter Stonk with the $20 deposit or more. Pretty much what PredictionStrike is, it's a stock market for sports, right? You got the you got MMA, you got MLB, you got the NBA, as well as the NFL. So plenty of sports to chew into. Use fighters or players as stocks, pretty much is what we're using it as. And it's really helped our Fighter Stonk segment that me and Clint have been doing since we started this Deadlock podcast. So shout out to the PredictionStrike team. First and foremost, before we get into it, Clint, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I know this is a mini episode of the show, but it's been a couple weeks, so I appreciate the check-in. I'm doing quite well. The content machine buzzing as ever, so little tired, but we got a big-ass awesome card this weekend I'm looking forward to. The real question, though, Locke, is how are you making a return to the land of the living, you know, disappearing for all those weeks on end partying your ass off? I'm surprised you can pick yourself up today.
Dude, I was looking back when I was setting up the stream for this today. I was like, what was the last live stream that I did? And it was June 15th. That is way too long. Right? Like that was UFC Austin, if I'm not mistaken. I did obviously do propping you up last week with Cody, but on my personal channel itself, it's been a while since I've actually put up some content on here. It does not feel good, but luckily I'm right back into the swing of things like you alluded to. I had 4 weddings that I need to attend, 2 of which were mine throughout June. And it also included flying halfway across the country to attend one of them. But I am back. I am finally revving and ready to go. Happy to do the Fighter Stonks check-in as well. I'm going to be doing my Lockcast episode live later tonight. So I'll be full systems go once again. And I'm very much looking forward to it. The one thing that I'm looking forward to the most actually is doing a full Deadlock podcast episode, which we'll obviously be doing next week on the Deadlock podcast channel. So make sure you guys check out the link in the description below to subscribe over there and show us some love, where we just get to talk fights and be fans and you know, take off our gambler caps for a second and just be fans. And that's why I very much appreciate that podcast. All right. Let's not waste too much more time. Like I said, we're here for the Fighter Stonks check-in, and I'll quickly share my screen for you here, for you guys here. And as you guys can see, I did have somebody compete this past weekend, and unfortunately, they got knocked the fuck out. Tefan Nchukwi goes down like a ton of bricks off a jab from Carlos Ulberg. That ultimately, I believe, has me down 12 cents now on Nchukwi. Now, I bought him after he had lost to Mirzakhanov, assuming that he'd be able to bounce back, but unfortunately he falls short against Ulberg. I'm assuming the UFC will give him at least another crack here, as I do believe he's way more talented than those, you know, 2 losses say on his record. Not to mention that first loss to Mirzakhanov, that was almost a win. That was like a you know, come back from the jaws of defeat type of thing for Azamat Mirzakhanov that night. So I have high hopes for Tefan Nchukwi moving forward. Macy Barber fighting this weekend. She's already gained 37 cents for me since I've purchased her. So I'm very happy about that. I know she's a big favorite here against Jessica Ai. Still expecting her to win, but from a betting perspective, that's a pass if I've ever seen one. That's all I'm going to say. And I believe, yes, I also had Damir Ismagulov compete since the last time we checked in with you guys. 15 cents right there added to him. Very close fight. 30-27 Ismagulov is a little bit of a head scratcher, but we cash it nonetheless. Very happy to have some more money there on Damir Ismagulov. I still have some high hopes for the kid, but I won't lie, Clint. It's starting to fall a little bit, you know, quicker than I expected. I expected once he started to reach that top 10, then we'll start to see some chinks in his armor. But you know what? Maybe that just goes to show how good Guram Kutateladze is as well, because maybe he's a top 10 guy, right? So that's probably what it is there. We'll see how he fares moving forward, because that's now 2 fights in a row for Damir Ismagulov where they've been a little bit closer than they should have been. But let's see how he shakes out now going into hopefully getting another win in his next matchup. In terms of who I want to purchase going into this weekend's card,
I'm very curious.
I'm actually gonna pull a fast one here. I'm not sure if you have him, but I'm gonna go back to last weekend and pick up on somebody that very much impressed me. Mateusz Gamrot. Do you have his
Ooh.
stock?
Oh, I do not have Gamrot. That's a great pickup lock. How did neither of us pick him up?
$1.84 is where he's sitting at right now. I'm gonna go in there and buy one of his stonks. Very impressive performance against Arman Sarukian. I knew once he got into the championship round, she would start to take over, but how competitive that fight was from the first minute made me way more impressed with what we're getting from Gamrot. And the fact he's only at $1.84, I think he probably has, let's say, he probably needs to win 2 more fights to actually get a title shot. So I think we could still see that price go up before he fights, the Charles Oliveira's or the Islam Makhachev. And even if he fights Makhachev, I gotta say, Clint, I'm kind of sold that he could possibly give him some tips in there, especially the way he was doing with Sarukian. And we saw how Sarukian and Makhachev went. So I'd be very interested to see how that fight would play out if Mateusz is able to continue that going. But I'm hoping he is, obviously, because I just bought his stock. There was another one from this past weekend that I'm going to go with as well. Kind of surprised that he's still under the $2 range here. But I'm going to go with my guy Umair Nurmagomedov. $1.52 is what he's sitting at. He's always a minus 1,200 favorite. You expect him to continuously winning.
No, sir.
So, no, sir.
No, sir. I have already purchased Umar.
You have him? Oh, you did.
I told you that about 2 weeks ago, Locke. I was like, how have
Yes.
neither of us invested in cousin Umar
Yes.
just yet? And I was going to bring him up in my recap because I already have Umar Nurmagomedov.
Sneaky son of a gun. And sorry, there was one more for this week, and then I was gonna go into. I don't know if I should pull the trigger yet. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I am going to go with Alex Pereira.
Ooh, I looked at that one. I don't have him. I looked at it, but I don't have him.
He's $1.99 right now. And after running the tape, I do think he beats Sean Strickland. I do think the UFC would throw him into a title fight with Adesanya if he gets the win this weekend, especially with the, if he gets an emphatic knockout or something like that. So I expect his stock to rise.
Confirmed, isn't it?
Sorry, it's got to be. It's got to be confirmed, right? Look how they have it set up. It's on the same main card that Izzy's defending his title. Who else does Izzy have left to fight if he dispatches of Jared Cannonier other than his rival from back in the day, Alex Pereira? And you know what? I think he can make it competitive with Adesanya as well. So I'd probably even hold on to his stock if he wins this weekend and gets his immediate title shot. So I'm going to go one stock on Mr. Alex Pereira. $1.99 is what he's saying. It at 204 is obviously what I have to pay there because of the service fee, but I got his stock. So I picked up 2 stocks here, Clint. Interested to see. You're usually the one firing on all cylinders. Let's see what you go for.
And nothing's going to change, Locke. It's what I do. So first and foremost, got the little recap here. Want to let you guys know my guy Jalen Turner is in action this weekend. Very impressed with my guy already. I'm ride or die on this boat, and I'm a little nervous about Brad Riddell. I can understand the argument for him being value as the underdog here in this spot, but I think Jalen Turner is just a freak of nature with that frame that he's got at 155. So I'm holding fast. Definitely not going to jump off the ship on this one. I'm sticking with him. Got some profit here on my guy Umar. I was going to show this off. I don't understand the pump and dump though, Locke. I thought I was going to get a bigger return on Umar. I think people may have been disappointed by the lack of a finish, and Nate Maness is not respected by the betting community. So I think that might be kind of part of why he hasn't jumped off the page. I'm the opposite. I'm high on Nate Maness. I know how dangerous he is. And I think that Umar doing what he needed to do to win a safe victory and Nate being able to stay safe under, that imposing, grinding, back-taking style offense, like that just speaks to the strengths of both guys. I'm not moving. I like that spot. I'll take a little chip away there and profit. And
I'll say this, Clint, in regards to everybody pump and dumping on Umar, it doesn't matter. It's going to continue to go up. It's a long-term game that we're in here for. Omar is eventually going to make it to that top 8. And the fact that he's not even ranked is crazy. So he still has a couple more wins to get under his belt. I expect that stock to go up. So don't worry about the short-term pump and dump. Let's just get that long-term money.
Exactly. And you know what? Locke almost bought the stock himself today. So those of you
Right?
listening, if you're not playing Fighter Stonks with us and you're putting more than $1 on each of these stocks, buy up on Umar. This is your
Yeah.
buy low warning. Like, this kid is going to go through the roof. The more he dominates, the older he gets, the more well-rounded he gets. Get in while you can if you're looking for a legitimate long-term investment on this kid. Kevin Holland doing real nicely for me.
Nice.
Another one where I got this weird little pump and dump here that I'm kind of expecting it to continue climbing. So I like that one. Guram had to bring that up because we went head to head on this one with your guy over there, Ismagulov. I lost 14 cents. This is coming back, folks. Like,
Oh, of course.
this is a spot where if you want to buy in on Guram at 88 cents, jump on in. He's proven that he's a top 10 competitor guy. Lost 2 very close decisions in the UFC, both of which, I mean, the first one went his way. The second one could have arguably been a lot closer than I think the judges' scorecards represented. Lots of upside for Guram, in my opinion. So I'm not
Agreed.
selling there. We're Team Diamond Hands here. Lock, the time has come,
Ooh.
though.
Oh,
The
just
Duran
seeing
Win
that face
experiment.
broke my heart.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry.
The experiment is over. Oh no, I don't want to buy. What are you doing? I don't want to buy.
How much did you lose on him there?
Oh, we lost 20 cents.
20 cents.
It's not even worth the processing fees, but I'm never getting that back, Lock. Like, if any, I
No,
think he's going to get dropped from the UFC. If he
probably.
doesn't get dropped from the UFC, maybe he gets, one win over the lowest guy on the roster. He's going to come up to 82 cents. Like, this is not a long-term investable stonk, which is my goal. So I'm getting out of Duran Win. I'm eating
Good
my
idea.
loss. I'm taking my cash. I'm running for the hills. Kyle Dawkins
Oh,
is an intriguing situation. I think I'm going to hold on Kyle Dawkins. Now, obviously, he got starched in round 1. A lot of us thought he was going to roll through. He was a minus 250 favorite. The bookies thought he was going to roll through. He's a young kid with a great skill set. I think there's a lot of upside. I honestly think he will recapture this amount. So
mhm.
I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold because I do think Kyle Dawkins has a future and has a lot to grow. Albert Duraev, on the other hand,
Ooh,
Locke, I'm in kind of the same boat as I was with Duran Win. That was supposed to be like this guy is legit. I believe
yeah.
in this guy, even though he's coming off the Contender Series, and I like to fade these boys. This is the one that I'll plant my flag. I think he's got some serious skills. Buckley is not a guy that I'm like super massively high on. The fact that he came in with his head in the clouds, thought he would walk straight on through Buckley and got knocked out, had that eye swollen up. I mean, Dr. Stoppage technically, but you could tell he wanted no part of that fight about 4 minutes in. I'm not liking what I'm seeing. There's maybe, he might beat a couple lower level guys, but I don't know that this stock ever gets over $1. So I don't need to hang on to it. I'm going to get my money back and look for a better place to invest it.
Yeah, I was very let down by Duraev there.
Oh,
A guy that I was very high on. I had him a part of my lock, and then I play in the in his debut against Roman Kopilov, and that one we won by a hair as well. So,
yeah,
yeah, this one not a good performance. I thought he'd be able to grapple fuck Buckley into the ground,
I
especially
really did
seeing
too.
what Abdul Razak Al Hassan was able to do to Buckley a fight before that. Very very underwhelming performance for him. He might get another win or two inside the UFC, but definitely not the championship material I thought he was going to be when he made his UFC debut.
Agreed. Now, next up for this week, though,
Ooh, are you
we've
doing
got
it? You
Mr.
doing the
Mr. Gabe
fade?
Green.
You
I'm
are
gonna go ahead and
doing
buy.
Gary Fee or the fade here. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
is that correct? Yeah.
That is correct. I'm buying on Gabe Green. Now, from a betting perspective, I haven't actually bet Gabe Green just yet, but I think I will. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a round 3 sprinkle in there on this man. Ian Gary, I think, has shown some defensive tendencies that I'm really not a fan of.
Mhm.
And while Gabe Green does tend to be a little bit hittable, he's got the cardio, he's got the pace, he's got the durability, the recoverability. I think if he makes this fight ugly, I just don't know if Gary is ready for an ugly war. If
Yeah.
it's a technical fight, if he's able to outskill his opponent, he's good to go. But if he starts getting into a slog, if it's a slobber knocker, a grind, I'm not sure Ian Gary's ready for that kind of a fight. And I know my guy Gabe Green will bring it. So if he gets by this opponent, he's going to body snatch all that hype. And I think it's a good spot to, I don't know if I'll pump and dump, but,
I,
potentially get a nice little return here on Gabe Green. Obviously, He's a bit older, so like future matchups dependent on how long I want to hang on to him, but I do think he can win this one. And whenever you get those big upsets, you tend to see a decent little uptick there in the price tag. So I'll take some Gabe Green and we'll see how that goes. And the last one, I got to double check and see, Lock. You might already have a piece of him, but similarly to you from last week, I think I'm going to buy low on Armin Saryukian. Do you
You
have
know
Armin
what?
Saryukian?
So I did have him, and I actually sold on him before the Joel Alvarez fight, like a mook.
Ooh.
And yes, he is free and available for your taking, my friend.
Ooh.
Go for it. How much did he
He is
drop there?
free and available after everyone and their mom jumps ship. My man just dropped damn near $1 in value because he lost to Mateusz Gamrot. This is a young,
sneaky, my friend, sneaky.
impressive fighter who arguably won that fight on Saturday, Lock. I don't understand. I think the judging was bad. I thought it was pretty clearly 3-2 to Armin. Don't get me wrong. It was a close fight. Anybody who bet on Mateusz Gamrot made an amazing bet from a value standpoint. But I still think that Armin won the fight 3-2. Should have got his arm raised at the end of it. Give me the $1 discount on my guy. I'm in. I got a nice stonk at a good price. And you watch the next guy that he faces, he's going to pound through the canvas in the first round. So that number's coming straight back up, baby.
Yeah, 5-round experience was clearly in Gamrot's favor there. I probably should have taken advantage of that as well. We saw obviously Mateusz, arguably, well, on all three judges' scorecards, won the last 3 rounds. Do you recall which rounds you gave to Arman? Was it first, second, and I believe first and second were unanimous pretty much everywhere.
I think it was 1, 2, 4, because 4 is the one where he landed the spinning back fist knockdown, right?
Oh yeah, that's the TikTok thing.
That's the one where I'm like,
that should have more impact. Yeah.
I am always the guy, Lock, that I stand by that a knockdown does not automatically win you a round. It doesn't. You got to take the whole round into effect. But taking the whole of round 4 into effect, that was clearly the biggest moment. That was clearly the most damage anybody did. And Gamrot may have gotten a takedown or two with extremely minimal control time. It was competitive striking the rest of the time. How is that not an Armin Saryukian round? I don't understand. I get the argument for 3 and 5 being for Gamrot. I think round 2 was close. That it's pretty clear 1, 2, 4 Armin, in my opinion. You could argue 1 or 2 of those rounds are swing rounds and could have maybe been argued the other way. But like I said, I think it was a close but clear 3-2 Armin Saryukian. I don't get how round 4 goes the other way.
I'd have to honestly watch round 4 again, but yes, I do remember that being one of the, if not most significant moment of the fight, is actually getting a legit knockdown the way that we did in that round. So yeah, I got to watch that back. But hey, credit to you for picking it up on PredictionStrike right now, because that is a big pickup, especially at that price tag. You found the right moment to get in on him. I was the mook that bought him early and then sold him before his one of his most devastating wins against Joel Alvarez, and then forgot to pick him up after that. But good on you.
I love it. Stonks, baby.
Yes, Fighter Stonks. That's where it's great for. Again, shout out to PredictionStrike for hosting the Fighter Stonks segment. Make sure you guys sign up with them using the promo code LOCK to let them know that we sent you guys. And you'll get a free Fighter Stock with a deposit of $20 or more. So make sure you guys go check that out. Clint, we will be back for a full episode next week.
Yes.
We'll be recapping UFC 276. We'll be recapping everything that we missed out on each other's lives in the last however long that we haven't really spoken to each other. And we'll have a ton more fun as well. Anything you want to say on the back end, my friend?
I just want to give a little tease, Lock, and no, I'm not showing my ankles for you folks. We got some good stuff coming up. Lock and I, we have been in the think tank, and the Deadlock podcast has some really cool content coming to you guys. We think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I know we're hanging out on your channel for this one here, Lock, but anybody that's watching this, if you guys can retweet this one, if you can head over to the Deadlock channel, sub there, retweet the Deadlock handle, tweets, things like that. We're trying to grow that channel, and we are going to have a ton of fun the next couple of shows that we do over there. So everybody just buckle up, get ready. It's going to be a good time.
Hell yeah. And for everybody that is on my channel right now, I'm going to be doing the Lockcast later this evening. I'm thinking maybe like a 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Start Time. So if you guys want to swing on through to watch me break down the full 276 card, you guys can get that tonight, because I know you guys missed my face. So I might as well do it live for you guys as well. All right. That wraps it up. Appreciate you as always, Clint, for doing this Fighter Stonks segment. Shout out as well to Prediction Strike as well. And we'll see you guys next week on the Deadlock podcast channel. Links to all that stuff is in the description below. So make sure you guys go sub over there, and we will see you guys over there. And not to mention to reveal our fun thing that we're going to be doing with you guys as well. So don't miss out on it. Take care, guys.
We will miss your face.